Who's ready for a mystery? I have clue number 2 of the mystery crochet along. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. This is clue number 2 of the mystery crochet along. We have 10 clues all together. Today is going to be throwing you for a loop. Today we are going to be building a layer on top of last week's basically granny squares that you have created. This one here, this layer is going to sit on top and form an X on the top, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. Trust in me, you're going to want to complete this. So for today, you need to complete 20 of these, but let me show you how to do it first. And of course, if you need the clues, you can always go onto yarnspirations.com in order to get that information, and there's a link in the more information of this video in order for you to get the written instructions as well as diagrams. Welcome to clue number 2. We're going to do the next layer. Now this afghan is all about layering stuff on top of each other. That's what makes it really cool. So we had the blue last week, and now we're going to accent it with a nice color that really kind of contrasts with it to make it really stand out. And we're going to create an X on top of the granny square. Here's what the back looks like at this point. You can see that it's popped out through the middles just like so. And it's not that obvious. The back of this afghan looks okay, but it's not fabulous, not like the front. But all your work is just going to be resting right on top to create this beautiful X. So without further ado, let's get started now. For clue number 2, you can see that there's written instructions, and I have to say, if you can't visualize this, then it's very hard to tell. Because it's a mystery, you really don't know what's going on in there. All of the instructions throughout this entire tutorial have diagrams for each one of the steps. When you see it like this, it makes a lot of sense. This is a great opportunity to learn how to read crochet diagrams if you're ever confused on how to do it. For myself, I'm a crochet diagram reader. This totally makes sense, and I'm going to be showing you the complete step-by-step as we go and make an X on top of your granny square. So let's get ready. We want to start off. Now you can fasten on yarn depending on how you prefer. I prefer to do a slip knot myself, and just to be sure that I'm totally getting it so that it doesn't ever fall out later. So I created a slip knot. I'm gonna insert my hook in. So what I want to do is that I want to start on the project, and if I'm looking at the diagram or in the written instructions, you'll notice that you have to start off in the corner, but you have to start off with the middle one here. Okay, so there's 3. You start off with the middle, and we're going to join this yarn. So just grab both of them at the same time, going around, pulling it through and through, and that really locks it into position. That's just a personal preference for me. And so what we have to do as per the instructions is that we have to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet into that same spot just like this. And what I want to do is I want to trap that straggler on top so that it catches it underneath, so I don't have to worry about it. So that was 1 single crochet. So now we have to chain 1, and here's how we're going to do the corners. So now that we chain 1, we're gonna start off right in the corner, and what we have here is that we're gonna start off with a single crochet first, just like this. So single crochet, I'm just taking my time. I'm going to do a half double crochet now, and now we're really gonna come around that corner really quickly like a race car, and we're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and now we need to finish off the corner just how we started off with, so the next one would be a half double. Okay, and then the next one into the same one will be 1 single crochet. I'm gonna be doing this entire X on camera with you, so just bear with me if you're not getting it at this time. So what you have to do now is that you have to chain 1, and then coming to the next middle one here, so right in the middle, is that we're going to do a single crochet. So here comes the fun part. Here is the X that we're about to create. So to always do the spaces for the X, it always is gonna be chain 3. So if you remember that, it makes it really easy. So we're gonna go 1, 2, and 3, and we're gonna come down on an angle. So follow this. See how it comes down on an angle? Just like so. We want to come to the next one right in the middle, and we want to go around through the back of there. Okay, this is called the front post single crochet. So we're gonna just come around and we're just gonna single crochet right on top of that so it stays on top, and then we're going to chain 3 again. So 1, 2, 3, moving down to the next one on an angle. Okay, do you see how it's in the corner? So we're coming down to the middle one and we're gonna do a front post single crochet, and then we're going to chain 3, and we're gonna come down to the one that is just right in the center right here, like so, and single crochet, front post single crochet. So now we're gonna work our way up and we're gonna go up to the next one up here. So just like you started, I told you it's chaining 3, 1, 2 and 3, coming up to the next one that's available to you on an angle. Okay, it's right in the middle, front post single crochet, chain 3, 2 and 3, coming up to the next one right in the middle, like so, and then chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and now we're back up into the corner and we're going to do it exactly how you did it over here. So we're going to start off right in the middle, so we're gonna go right into the middle stitch for a single crochet, chain 1, and now we're gonna do a corner. Do you remember how to do the corner? If you don't, here's how you do it. Single crochet, half double crochet. Now we're gonna go around the racetrack real quick, so we're gonna do 3 double crochets. Okay, and then we're gonna start coming more narrower again, so we're going to do half double and then single, and we do that for every corner. We're going to chain 1 and then coming into the middle one here for a single crochet, and now we're gonna start coming down in order to form the other side of the X. So we're going to chain 3 first, 1, 2 and 3, front post single crochet into the next layer down here. Okay, so you see how it skips down, and then chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, coming down into the middle. Okay, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, and now you're coming into the final one here. Okay, it's the one right in the center for front post single crochet. We're now gonna move up so you can see how we're creating the X right now. Just think of Hollywood squares. This is the X. So we're gonna go 1, 2 and 3 to the middle to the next one up on an angle. 1, 2 and 3 up to the next one on an angle, front post single crochet, and now we're coming up to the outside edge, so we're gonna go 1, 2 and 3. You already know how to do the edge, but I'm gonna do it anyway. You come to the middle one for a single crochet, chain 1, and now we play with the corner again. So it's gonna be 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 3 double crochet, okay, 1 half double crochet as we come around the other side, and then 1 single, and then we're going to chain 1 and then come to the middle one here for a single, and then we come back down again. So let's do that again. So 1, 2 and 3 coming down on an angle to the next layer for a front post single crochet, 1, 2 and 3 coming down to the next layer, 1, 2 and 3 coming down to the next layer, which will be the one right in the middle. So as far as we need to go, and now we're gonna chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, coming back up on an angle to the next layer up, 1, 2 and 3, just like so. Coming to the next layer, 1, 2 and 3, coming up to the next outside edge. Okay, you're right on the outside now. So 1 single crochet, chain 1, and let's do our corner. So it's 1 single crochet, 1 half double, 3 double crochets. When you're doing all 20 of these, this kind of stuff that I'm doing right now is so easy to remember, it's not even funny. So half double and single, and then chain 1, and then coming to the middle. And let's go back down again. So we're almost getting our X complete at this point. So 1, 2 and 3, next layer down. Okay, next layer down, 1, 2 and 3. This is the final, and then 1, 2 and 3. Let's work our way back up. We're coming up to the conclusion. just like so, and then 1, 2, and 3. Next one coming up, and so then we're gonna finish off, we're gonna go 1, 2, and 3, and then we finish off with a slip stitch right in the beginning single crochet that you started off with, just like there. So that completes your X, and that completes off this clue. What I'd strongly recommend at this point, let's weave in our ends. Take care of your loose ends right away, it's just a lot easier to deal with, and then essentially just pull this through just like this. Now the way that I had you bury it in the very beginning just makes it a lot easier for you to not have to worry about that one, so you don't only have to worry about your end, and just weave it through the same color only. Just weave it back through and go 3 times. So 1, 2, make sure you don't over tighten it, and then go 3. 3 is the magic number for that to really hide in your ends so they never fall out on you. And then essentially once you get that done, you can trim off your work like so, and that concludes off, and this is what it looks like at this point, and you are now done clue number 2. So please do all 20 of these squares with the exact same color, and then meet me back next week and we have more stuff for you then. So what'd you think of that? An X on top. Where is this Afghan going? Can't tell ya. It's amazing. Please do all 20 squares now. You can mix in, your colors if you want to. I would recommend that you keep all the colors the same until you really get a good idea of what's going on. Maybe you want to do a second Afghan in order to kind of play around. You only had to do 20 squares, and so that gives you an idea. The squares are going to get a bit bigger, and you can see this Afghan is going to start materializing before your very eyes. Stay tuned next week, because next week we're going to be throwing you for a loop as we add more layers to the top of your granny square.